George Russell stays at Mercedes for 2026, but the deal isn't as straightforward as it looks. Hidden clauses, short terms, and a Verstappen twist. Let's dig in. George Russell is set to stay with Mercedes for another season, after the team confirmed they'll be keeping their current driver lineup for 2026. What's still under wraps, though, is the length of the contracts for both Russell and his young teammate Kimi Antonelli, a detail that keeps the door open for Mercedes to potentially chase Red Bull's Max Verstappen in 2027. The announcement ends a drawn-out negotiation process with Russell, as Mercedes aim for stability ahead of the sweeping regulation changes coming in 2026. At 27, the Briton has secured 5 career wins across 8 seasons in Formula One, including a standout victory in Singapore, which has boosted Mercedes' fight with Ferrari and Red Bull for second place in the constructors' standings. Currently sitting fourth in the Drivers' Championship, Russell continues to deliver on the promise he showed rising through Mercedes' junior ranks. "I'm really proud to be continuing our journey together," he said. "Next year will mark my 10th since I signed with Mercedes back in 2017. It has been such a long and successful partnership so far, and I can't wait to see what lies ahead, particularly as we embark on one of the largest regulation changes in the sport's history next year." Part of Russell's new agreement is believed to include a lighter load of marketing and PR duties, though the real sticking point may have been the length of the deal. Team boss Toto Wolff has made no secret of his ambition to tempt 4-time world champion Max Verstappen away from Red Bull. But Verstappen ended that speculation before the Hungarian Grand Prix, confirming his commitment to Red Bull for 2026, which made it increasingly likely Mercedes would hold on to their current lineup. The official announcement, timed just ahead of this weekend's United States Grand Prix, was careful not to reveal how long the contracts run. While 2-year terms are standard in Formula One, insiders suggest both Russell and Antonelli could be on flexible 1+1 deals, giving either side the option to walk away after a single season. With the sweeping 2026 regulation reset looming, Mercedes appear to be keeping their options open. If they roll out a competitive car and climb back to the front, Verstappen could find a switch far more tempting come 2027. 19-year-old Kimi Antonelli, promoted from Mercedes' junior ranks to fill Lewis Hamilton's seat this season, has endured a turbulent debut year in Formula One, but also delivered flashes of brilliance. His standout moment came in Canada, where he stormed to third place and became the third youngest driver in history to claim a podium. Currently sitting 7th in the drivers' standings, the Italian leads the pack among this year's rookies. Toto Wolff explained that the delay in confirming Mercedes' driver lineup came down to making sure everyone was satisfied with the fine print of the contracts. The announcement caps off months of speculation, especially around George Russell's seat, which looked uncertain as Mercedes openly toyed with the idea of pursuing Max Verstappen. With the deal now sealed, Wolff insisted there was never any real doubt about sticking with the pair. "Confirming our driver lineup was always just a matter of when, not if," he said. "We wanted to take our time, handle the negotiations properly, and make sure everyone on all sides was happy. I'm pleased we have done that." Wolff made it clear that Mercedes' immediate target is to lock down second place in the constructors' standings by season's end, while keeping one eye firmly on the sweeping regulation overhaul coming in 2026. "George and Kimi have proved a strong pairing, and we're excited to continue our journey together," Wolff added. "Our focus is now on the final 6 races of the year, as we fight for second in the constructors, and onwards to 2026 and a new era in F1. Despite the confirmed contract extension, former F1 driver Derek Daly believes George Russell may still harbour doubts about his standing at Mercedes, despite securing a contract extension. After months of uncertainty, Mercedes confirmed on Wednesday that both Russell and teammate Kimi Antonelli will remain with the team for next season. Earlier in the year, Russell's seat looked far from secure as Mercedes openly explored the possibility of signing Max Verstappen from Red Bull. The potential arrival of the 4-time world champion cast a shadow over Russell's future, especially with Antonelli viewed as a long-term investment for the Silver Arrows. Daly drew parallels to Daniel Ricciardo's experience at Red Bull, when Verstappen's signing shifted the team dynamic and left Ricciardo questioning his own role within the squad. I think George Russell has amazing speed. Unfortunately, Toto has now built a bit of a Daniel Ricciardo-like resentment within George Russell. Toto Wolff has already told George Russell, "Yeah, you're good. We like you, but we'd change it in a heartbeat." That is, in essence, what Red Bull told Daniel Ricciardo, and I think it'll take a bit of time to recover from that. Russell has unquestionably been Mercedes' standout this season, taking 2 victories across 18 races and contributing nearly 3/4 of the team's total points haul. Yet, despite his strong performances, doubts over his long-term role linger. Derek Daly suggests this lingering skepticism could plant seeds of uncertainty in Russell's mind, even as he leads the charge for the Silver Arrows. I have to think George Russell has the little man in the back of his head saying, "I resent what they do," he said. They didn't come out publicly and say, "I'm the guy, I beat Lewis Hamilton, I'm a clear leader in the team today, I've won races in a car that I have to carry." The fascination of the sport is, has Mercedes already built in a bit of instability because of the lack of security their lead driver has to feel because of how he's been treated on his contract renewal? It's like great golfers. Great golfers can learn how to forget. Can George Russell learn how to forget that that ever happened? Can he become emotionally neutral and forget it? Can you learn how to forget? Maybe he can and end up being even more impressive. With just 6 races left in what has been another thrilling Formula One season, Mercedes is hitting its stride, and hitting it hard. George Russell's spectacular triumph in Singapore has pushed the team into a commanding position, with second place in the Constructors' Championship now firmly in sight. Heading into the United States Grand Prix, Mercedes holds a 27-point cushion over Ferrari and a 35-point advantage over Red Bull. We come off the back of a strong result in Singapore, taking victory with George and P5 for Kim. Not only was that unexpected, our level of performance across Saturday and Sunday showed it was no fluke. That has been the story of the season somewhat, where it isn't clear which team will be leading the way from weekend to weekend. We were also good in Azerbaijan, so we are curious to see if we can maintain the step we have made with the W16 into this next run of races across the Americas. As the season heads into its final stretch, Mercedes chase second in the championship. But with contracts shrouded in mystery, only time will reveal if Russell's future is truly secure.